happy to have you guys here. We're very excited. Obviously, you guys know what this event is for. We have pretty much the best people in Blizzard Entertainment and Diablo here. And
Yay!
Without further ado, Chris Metzen.
We want to give a shout out to this is just one of the coolest bookstores ever, and we're just very, very thankful for this crew to allow us to do this today. And guys, thanks for coming out. Book of Cain's kind of one of the weirdest things we've tried to do over the years. We've done a lot of novels, stuff like that. Book of Cain's the first time we really tried to do kind of like a definitive history of a franchise. It was just the right time. Diablo has so many new ideas and so many old ideas that needed to be refined and cleaned up. It was just the perfect time for a product like this, and it was really fun. It was a pain in the ass, I'll be honest with you, but just so many data points. But just coming through the process of conceptualizing, writing, editing this thing, it was really, really fun. And guys, one of the chief architects of this monster is a brother named Flint Dilly. So please give it up for Flint. Really helped, as we kind of got all our data together and we're figuring out our history. Flint really, at the time that we conceived of the Book of Cain, was helping us on scripting duties for Diablo 3. So he was helping the quest guys and just helping us to level up our game. Flint's a very accomplished writer, and over the process of thinking about Book of Cain, I figured this guy is perfect for our needs, and Flint really just created all the magic words that make it flow.
Yeah, no, this thing was really cool because you don't get. Does anyone not hear me if I just talk in my real voice, or
a little soft? It's a little soft.
It's a little soft. Okay, so if I talk like that, then just the microphone's kind of fun. No, it was really cool. So I was just minding my own business one day, where we're working on the game, and Mickey called and said, "Hey, you want to do this book?" And that led to months of what this really was about was mostly just extracting stuff from Chris's brain. Okay, it was like all in there. Okay, the entire Diablo universe is floating around in there, which is problematic for him, but for us it's great. And it was just a matter of kind of getting it out. That's what was cool about it. And just figuring out how it all fit together, because it all fits perfectly together.
Certainly.
It's just
perfectly engineered.
Somebody wrote about the game. The story seems effortless. And I said, that's just how I remember it.
I don't know about effortless. Attrition builds character. But guys, again, on behalf of our editorial team, you guys will get to meet and have your stuff signed by a number of Blizzard brothers and sisters that are here today. Mickey Nielsen's our publishing lead of the creative development department, and Mark Gibbons. Mark, do you want to come out? Mark's one of our senior illustrators at Blizzard. He's just all rock star now. So whenever
it's Hollywood.
Really, whenever we go over, we bring Mark because he makes us look cool. Like the aggregate cool kind of rises about 30% when Mark is within 5 feet of any of us.
People think we always look more Hollywood.
That's right. It's the tattoos. They put it over the top. So, but again, this process is really fun. How many of y'all have the book already? Plenty. How many of y'all have read it? Yeah. Wow. What'd y'all think?
Yeah!
Pretty gnarly to get through, right? Page 33 is like, oh god, not more page.
No, hell no.
Just kidding. But it was really fun. In a lot of ways, I romanticize old school gaming when we used to do manuals, right? In the back of your gaming box, right? Nowadays, it's the internet and all this stuff. We actually used to have manuals in the back of video games, and you would get to write about your game story and build backstory and have illustrations, and it was a glorious time. So this thing's just a super mega deep rich game manual, and I'm probably the only one in the room that think that's cool.
No, I would agree with you. I think one of the things that I think there's always a balance to be struck with the games that we make between investing time and effort into building the lore and the story, because we really love that stuff, and how much of that you want to force upon the players, how much of it becomes compulsory to playing the game.
How much fits the play and how much is more.
Exactly, and it's a tightrope that you walk. So what stuff like Book of Cain allows us to do, and the novels and the comic books, is really just to indulge our creative vibes and then throw that stuff out there. And if people like it, then it's awesome. We'll do more.
Totally, we will. Yeah, so how many of y'all in the room would like to see this type of book done for maybe other franchises? Because we're definitely talking about it. Like on the other side of this thing, we really, really like this book. It just turned out really cool, and So we've been talking about it for StarCraft, Warcraft. It'd be hard to do. StarCraft easier, Warcraft would be a monster, but it's more like it'd be six of these things. But like it would be pretty glorious to have them, right? And let alone for all of us developers at Blizzard, like, hey, well, check the book, page 6, you're getting it wrong, you know.
It sounds like a WoW encyclopedia.
So, that's what we said. It was blue. Got it. So guys, as I'm looking at it, Matt, if you want to come up. Matthew Burns is one of our writers on the creative development team. Matt did a lot of editorial on this thing. Matt's one of the rock stars of his project, so give him lots of love through the ringer. And guys, the very sexy man making his way up through the middle. This is Mickey Nielsen.
New York Times bestselling.
New York Times best-selling author Mickey Nielsen. Right, so Mickey. So for those of you who follow Warcraft, Mickey's written Curse of the Worgen with another brother named James Waugh, who is somewhere in the room. Mick did Ashbringer, so he's pretty much been our publishing lead at Blizzard for years and years and years, and both Mick and Matt provided just a lot of hours of editorial coverage and having to deal with my picky ass as I pretty much sharpshooted every other sentence.
These guys made us look good.
Totally. So this is the team, guys, and it's really cool, for us all to be here again. Thank you all so much for coming out and just being passionate about Diablo and maybe this book in particular. We worked real hard on it, so if you guys are digging it, that feels great. Thanks for letting us be here today, be at this event with you. We don't get out of the house all that much, so this is kind of nice in Hollywood. So thanks again for being here, y'all. Hope you have a good time today, and we'll try and sign really good. So while we're here, before we get to the formal signing bit, does anyone have any quickie questions or anything we can answer while we're here?
When's Diablo come out?
One at a time.
When it's done.
Is that ever going to happen? Or?
Warcraft movie he asked about. No comment whatsoever. So yeah, we're working unofficially. We stalled out a little bit, but we're back on track. We've got a new outline that we're very, very excited about, which kind of always thought would be a great Warcraft movie. So we're digging that out. Kind of engaged with a writer, and we'll see how we go. The process can be very complicated with films, I've learned, but we've got a killer hook, we've got a killer outline, and we'll see how we go.
Already around about 2032 around, you think?
Oh man, I hope not. But when it comes out in 2032, it's going to be excellent. They ain't done until it's done. So. There was one in the back.
There's one right here.
Yes,
so how does the Abyss work? That's one thing that I've been trying to
That's
grapple
a good question.
Is
we were just arguing about that the other day.
Yeah, we probably had 2 hours of discussion.
Because the Abyss, so we have the primes are tied to soul stones, and that kind of the way you can transfer their essence, and they can come in and out or whatever. But, say, Andariel, Duriel, heck, even the Butcher, are they kind of gone, stuck in the Abyss, or will we ever see those characters again?
Interesting. Off the top of my head, what I would say is we're still working on the Abyss.
Okay.
Which means exactly where does it lie? Is it related to hell? Is it a different kind of hell, or is it something totally other that people might have a wrong idea about? So we're still kind of walking through exactly what it is. The only thing we technically said about it is that Diablo and Mephisto, when put into stones, which were ultimately shattered on the Hellforge, somehow, their souls went into the Abyss, which we just needed somewhere else other than hell, because that would be a vacation for them. So we'll see how all that history plays out. But I don't want to answer your question too specifically because it may pay off in ways.
Okay, and then one other little thing: are we going to see more in-depth stuff? Because there's a lot of reference material that Cain references in this book. Are we going to see any of that explored in other ways?
So referencing other historians and other works of historical lore. No plans. As of today, the game is kind of actualizing. The game is kind of actualizing a lot of that stuff. Flint was just riffing and hooking and just kind of just embellishing some a couple of the historians we mentioned we might have had in older docs or that we've never really did anything with, but there was just so much.
We're still decoding a number of those. Petroglyphs and stuff in there. We're working on it. It's a hieroglyph at a time.
So it's kind of like there's all these wonderful flavors on the table that we could potentially, cook something with, but it's so much data.
Yeah.
It doesn't feed directly into where like the stories for the game kind of is going, but it's all right there to be leveraged. So we're still debating.
Hey, is the paladin dead? Cause
which one, mine or the one you played?
Mine's in limbo at the moment with WoW, but no, I was just wondering because it's not in D3, and I'm wondering if they're gonna add him eventually in the expansion. But then I realized that the monk uses the light too, and I don't know, it seemed kind of funny if they.
Paladin is a companion character.
Yeah, it's like the fictional gimmick of there being paladins or whatever, like that order. I don't know if we get into it too much. There's a Templar companion in the game, and they're kind of like an offshoot of the Paladin Order. The Paladin Order definitely got roughed up with the fall of Zakarum and the whole crash of their religious system or whatever. And essentially it's the fall of Rome in many ways. I'm sure there's plenty of them still out there trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives now. So not hugely referenced in Diablo 3 specifically, but it's certainly a gimmick in the world that can be played, not played, but like utilized moving forward. But the only way it's really evidenced in Diablo 3, I believe, is the Templar companion character. There's some continuity there.
We had some issues with John Dark, remember? Yeah. That other guy who I always thought of as a fallen fang. I don't know what Deckard Cain thought that.
I don't know.
It's got various slightly in the Book of Cain, but I was wondering if whether in-game or outside of game, like in a manual or whatever, there's more in-depth lore on the playable classes, like the barbarian monk.
Don't hold it from his mouth.
Okay.
Where's his mouth?
Yes. The answer is yes. We're going to be exploring the classes much further in published properties, on the web, all kinds of things, all kinds of exciting things that we're talking about right now.
That's well done. It's a great voice. In the back again.
What's going on right now in your working on Runestone system? Because I've already started out, like the original system seemed to be pretty good, and then you tried like unattuned Runestones, and that didn't really work out.
I'll cut to the chase and say no one in this shop knows. We're more than published. I have no idea. The design team's cranking on that stuff right now, and I just off the top of my head, actually, I do not know. I don't know what the latest iteration is. So sorry, I can't answer that one. Further in the back. Next week, you didn't get the memo? It's imminent, dude. When it's done, but it's critical mass. This thing's it's getting real clean. It's all kind of constructed, and it's just now we're just in that polish phase, and that phase takes as long as it takes, just to make it perfect. But all the systems are mega, and all the flow of the campaign and all that stuff, the cinematics, it's really close. It's really close, and technically we don't know yet. We're still just kind of feeling it out, but it ain't for laziness. You know what I mean? It's just it's got to be right. So hopefully, sooner rather than later. Let's say
that's what separates Blizzard from everybody else.
They
take their time to make it right.
George is signaling to us, but I can't see that far.
Wrap it up.
We're being told to wrap it up. How about one more question, guys? Anywhere? Yeah.
The first two games pretty much dictated the lore as it stood. Was there anything that you took from the book and changed the third game from? You were writing it in the book and you said this would be really good in the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, my feeling is the game and the book kind of evolved together.
Formed each other.
And the thing to understand about the book is a lot of things in the book are Deckard Cain's belief of what happened. I mean, this is a first-person book. And there are cases where, he doesn't know, but he'll give you both theories and stuff like that of what happened.
Which covers our asses, by the way.
Yeah, it's because you used to have to, back in like D&D days, you had, it was what the lore book said was law. Now we've got subjective lore books, and Deckard Cain.
I think they definitely cross-inform each other.
So was there anything that you said, wow, this would really work well in the game that you didn't have at that point? Like you thought of something for the book.
I think there's a ton of stuff we just don't even know it because they were so
It's
fluid
lower,
between
it's
each other.
lower yield kind of character things and
Yeah.
character backgrounds. I wouldn't say there's any big like world movements or big plot driving movements that informed Diablo 3. It was more like there was a vibe that we were finding, and certainly the team had the story put together and the vibe, but they just really crossed and formed each other in terms of character and historical heightening and context.
Just three places meaning stuff too.
Oh yeah, area locations.
Yeah,
like that we had done.
All of a sudden we realized,
providing color.
That's what happened.
So I think that will wrap that up, guys. Once again, thank you so much for being here. It's a great honor to be here with you guys for reals. I'm not sure. Store folk, is there a particular? Oh, I'm so sorry. There you are. Is there like a particular line type?
Basically, we're gonna have you guys just stay put, and we're gonna help you guys get to the signing area. But like Chris said, thank you so much for coming. You guys are awesome. If you guys need the book, I have the cashier, and I'm gonna bring the authors back. So let's give them another round of applause. Stay put for directions in a second.